was so great because we have time off, and at lunch I'm like cruising around. Who can I fuck with?
When Judd came into the audition for The Breakfast Club, probably heard the story, but he just came like the way you saw him in the film. I mean, he was like in the jacket, he had the gloves, he had the ball, he had the boots, the fuck you attitude, the whole thing.
I'm getting a little rambunctious, I think, in the waiting room outside. And the receptionist called for security. And so the elevator doors are opening with security just as someone opens the door from the side and goes, Judd Nelson? I go, yeah, okay, yeah, it's me. So I go in and starts like, I was a little bit adrenalized, I would say. I'm that much like, yeah, okay, cops didn't get me.
When Judd walked in, he just had this sort of he had made this sort of method choice to just be like, I am Bender, and one of you guys are gonna fucking figure it out.
It's risky. It's a risky way to do it, but it just seemed to, you know, certain roles, it's gonna be hard for them to believe that you can pull it off if you're not already pulling it off.
With Judd Nelson's character, I mean, there was a point, if he came in the black leather jacket and too obvious, you know, here he's wearing flannel, he's wearing a t-shirt underneath, he's got layers, he's got his boots that look horrible, he's got his awful pants, and that tweed overcoat. All his stuff was basically recycled. You make it look like it's been lived in, loved in, and his particular character totally works. People wanted that coat. People wanted to look like him. His attitude was perfect.
I like that other people started wearing the clothes because my mother has been giving me a hard time for a long time. What's with the boots? What, tying the shirt around your waist? Tuck it in, tie your shoelaces. It's like, Mom. She's like, you're a bad example. Kids are gonna fall. It's like, well, or better than being pushed, I guess, you know.
The Seattle Sound copied the grunge look of Judd Nelson in The Breakfast Club, okay? That was him.
That was a changing moment for me because I did go out and buy a trench coat, you know, and I put pins on it and I grew my hair and I wanted to get my ear pierced so some girl would give me her earring. In the way that I think I related to Andy's character as who I was, in that film, Judd Nelson was who I kind of wanted to be. It's a really great performance, and again, it probably affected a lot of kids the way it affected me. You walk out of that experience a changed person.
The Breakfast Club actually does get pretty heightened. It gets pretty melodramatic. I mean, at one point, like, Bender is like pacing through the library doing like a monologue about being beaten. You know, it's not super subtle, but it's effective, and I think that's why people love that movie, is because it's not afraid to go there.
I think he had to be big in order to come across as the rebel. His performance is a little bit bigger and more showy than everyone else's, but it needed to be.
See, this is what you get in my house when you spill paint in the garage.
All those moments where he's tearing up the book and the door slams and he curses at Paul Gleason when he leaves.
Fuck you!
Or him just openly being defiant. Everything builds up to the moment where Molly Ringwald kisses him on the neck.
Why'd you do that?
'Cause I knew you wouldn't.
That redeemed him completely in some way. He's, for the first time, completely not really sure what to do. He can't do anything. He can't tear anything apart or yell or curse. He's completely disarmed.
And then she gives me a gift, which is interesting. And I like that John has me take it. Because theoretically, after my big speech about, you know, buying stuff, am I going to be so, you know, no, take it. Don't be an ass. If for no other reason than, you know, can talk to her, you know, Monday, maybe.
I watched that movie, and I still love that movie, and I still love to dislike that guy. And I think Judd Nelson has had to bear that cross all these years. You know, I think people still strongly identify him in that role.
I like that they respond well to that character, and I like that I was able to serve John's material. But it is strange that then I'm confused with that guy.
He's really a funny guy. He, very unlike his character. Super cool, so funny. You know, when I look back at my career, like certain people that stand out, and Downey was one of the funniest ones. You know, Judd is another one of the funniest guys I've worked with. Great, great spirit.
Well, I love Judd. I mean, Judd is geniusly funny, you know, really verbal. He's a real unusual character, Judd. He's just who he is. And I was really close to him back then because then during Breakfast Club, I just thought he was fantastic. And then Then we got to do St. Elmo's Fire, and then we did this movie that ended up being disastrous, but it was Blue City. I just, you know, we're just really comfortable with each other.
And Judd definitely came ready in that role. I mean, he had a great passion and a focus then, because he knew he had landed a great role, you know, and he delivered.